potential hurricane now bearing down. The major tropical threat in the Gulf right now, a hurricane watch just posted. Much of New Orleans underwater, flash flooding, a waterspout touching down. And now what could be a major test for the levees after Katrina. Alerts across several states. Rob Marciano live in the Gulf with a new track tonight. President Trump's labor secretary under fire tonight, standing before the cameras late today, forced to explain why Jeffrey Epstein, now charged with sex trafficking, got that secret plea deal all those years ago. The American mom and U.S. scientist discovered dead overseas. Authorities now calling it tonight a criminal act, saying she was suffocated, found in a tunnel in a former World War II bunker. The outrage tonight, the embryo mix-up. The woman giving birth to twin boys, but they were not hers. And then the twin boys, it turned out, were not even related to each other. The parents of one of those boys in tears speaking out tonight. The major airline this evening accused of shaming a mom who is a doctor because of what she was wearing, what flight attendants allegedly made her do. There is news tonight about the death of a popular young Disney star, what his family is now revealing about his private health battle. And a homecoming fit for champions, the World Cup champs, given the keys to the city.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. And we begin tonight with the state of emergency as a tropical storm now bears down in the Gulf. In fact, it could become a hurricane. In fact, hurricane watches are up tonight across several states already, and New Orleans already underwater. Tonight, authorities there are bracing for what could be a major test of the levee system after Katrina. Dark clouds and a waterspout there on Lake Pontchartrain. Streets turned into rivers in the city's Lower Garden district. This streetcar, the only traffic in a flooded downtown New Orleans. And take a look, this satellite image tonight of the tropical threat right now at this hour. Meteorologist Rob Marciano is just outside New Orleans tonight, leading us off.
Tonight, a state of emergency for New Orleans. This waterspout spotted marching across Lake Pontchartrain as severe storms ripped through homes like this one.
The whole bedroom was blown out, and my wife and dog were they were under the rubble.
And flash floods hounding the city, dumping up to a half a foot of rain, turning roads into rivers. The famed French Quarter submerged, drivers forced to abandon their cars, residents getting around any way they could. This man swimming through deep water.
This is ridiculous. It looks like Venice out here. Everybody need a boat or something. This is like sad. This is really sad.
And it is only the beginning. Louisiana bracing for a hurricane or tropical storm.
We don't know yet where this storm is going to land, but we know it's going to be a big storm, a significant rain and storm surge event.
The people here taking no chances. They're stocking up on supplies. In the Gulf of Mexico, oil companies already pulling workers off their rigs. And along the rivers, a scramble to sandbag. Tonight, the levee system's facing one of its biggest tests since Hurricane Katrina. The Mississippi projected to reach 20 feet, highest level in nearly 70 years.
All right, so let's get right to Rob Marciano with us live tonight. He's just outside New Orleans at the Bonnie Carey Spillway, actually along the Mississippi. And I know, Rob, that's a key to actually relieving pressure on the levees in New Orleans if they need it.
It is, David. It is key, but it can only relieve so much. It diverts about 10% of the water flow, and it's going to be running hard here over the next several days. The center of this system now, take a look on the satellite, about 125 miles to the southeast of the mouth of the Mississippi. It is forecast to become a tropical storm, Barry, tomorrow, and then move towards the Louisiana coast during the day on Friday, strengthening to potentially a Category 1 storm, making landfall sometime during the day on Saturday, somewhere between Houston and New Orleans. So we have hurricane watches up for much of the Louisiana coastline. Flash flood watches up, especially for points east where the rainfall will be heaviest. We could see 10 to 20 inches of rainfall. That rain plus the storm surge could bring the river levels to the point where they start to overtop in and around New Orleans. David?
All right, it seems so early for this, but Rob, the season is here and we thank you. Next tonight, the breaking headline at this hour after President Trump's labor secretary faced the cameras today, publicly defending himself after that plea deal for multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein years ago. Alexander Acosta now saying he stepped into that case because state prosecutors were about to let Epstein go free. Well, tonight, just in, reaction from the former state attorney for Palm Beach County, saying what Acosta said today was completely wrong. Tom Llamas was right there asking the questions in Washington.
Tonight, with his job on the line, Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta defending his handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case while he was U.S. Attorney in Florida in 2008. arguing he stepped in when state prosecutors were going to let Epstein off without jail time.
We did what we did because we wanted to see Epstein go to jail. He needed to go to jail.
Epstein was only in county jail for 13 months and was allowed out to go to work 6 days a week. Court documents show more than 30 women accused him of sexually abusing them as teenagers. The deal he cut with Acosta's office allowed him to plead guilty to lesser felonies.
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution.
Acosta asked if he'd make the same deal today.
We live in a very different world. Today's world treats victims very, very differently. Today's world does not allow some of the victim shaming that could have taken place at trial 12 years ago.
But at the time, the plea deal was kept secret from Epstein's alleged victims. Courtney Wild says she was one of them.
I was calling them and saying, hey, my name's Courtney Wild. I'm a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Is there anything happening with this case? What's going on? You know, I would get no response.
Today, I asked the secretary why so many young women were kept in the dark about the deal.
They say they went to you looking for help, and they didn't hear back from you until it was too late. Do you owe them an apology?
So you're raising the issue of victim notification. The career prosecutor in this case had a difficult decision to make, and she didn't make it alone.
Acosta refusing to apologize to those alleged young victims kept in the dark, instead offering them this.
The message to victims is come forward.
Do you really have nothing else to say to these victims beyond you should come forward?
Everything that the victims have gone through in these cases is horrific, and their response is entirely justified. At the same time, I think it's important to stand up for the prosecutors of my former office and make clear that what they were trying to do was help these victims.
So far, President Trump standing by his embattled labor secretary.
I feel very badly, actually, for Secretary Acosta.
But the president did direct Secretary Acosta to face questions today.
If at some point the president decides that I am not the best person to do this job, I respect that.
And as the president decides, another one of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged victims now coming forward. Jennifer Arose telling NBC the multimillionaire raped her in his Manhattan mansion when she was just 15.
He raped me. Forcefully raped me, but knew exactly what he was doing. And I don't think cared.
Her lawyer telling ABC News she now plans to sue Epstein, who tonight remains behind bars. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges he now faces.
So let's get to Tom Llamas with us live in Washington tonight. And Tom, we're just getting word, as I mentioned a moment ago, from that former state attorney down in Palm Beach, Florida, who says what Secretary Acosta said today was, quote, completely wrong.
David, this is quite the development. It just happened moments ago. You now essentially have the former state attorney and the U.S. attorney who were overseeing the Epstein investigation pointing the finger at each other. That former state attorney from Palm Beach County says Acosta was not only wrong, he pushed away a 53-page indictment to cut that secret deal with Epstein. He says now, all these years later, Acosta should not be allowed to rewrite history. David?
All right, Tom Llamas on the case again tonight. Tom, thank you. There is also major news this evening involving that American mother, a U.S. scientist, found dead in Greece. Her body was found in a World War II bunker, and tonight authorities say she was the victim of a, quote, criminal act. The married mother of two had been missing for a week, and here's our foreign correspondent, James Longman.
Murder on the Mediterranean. Tonight, investigators reveal 59-year-old American Suzanne Eaton died in what they call a criminal act on the Greek island of Crete. For the first time, we're seeing where she was found, deep in these winding tunnels once used as a Nazi bunker during World War II. It's not known if the mother of two died here or if these dark recesses gave her killer a convenient hiding place. According to Greek police, an autopsy reveals she was suffocated. Authorities believe she was killed not long after she disappeared a week ago. It's thought Eaton, a molecular biologist in Greece for a conference, had gone for a run, her sneakers missing, but her phone and wallet left behind. The search was exhaustive. Helicopters and dogs, even a specialist rescue boat equipped with sonar, all taking part. Eaton's husband and two sons joining in.
Detectives are tonight on the hunt for Mrs. Eaton's killer, with police from across Greece working this case. David?
James Longman tonight. James, thank you. And next to the heartbreaking mix-up at a fertility clinic when a New York woman gave birth to two boys. They were not hers. And it turns out the boys were not even related to each other. Here's ABC's Adrienne Bankert.
Tonight, this baby boy at the center of two families' unimaginable trauma.
It was heartbreaking. It was terrible.
Struggling to conceive, this California couple says they first turned to CHA Fertility because of claims like this.
We have the world's best facilities for infertility treatment.
After having a daughter in 2011, Ani and Ashot Manoukian returned to this Los Angeles-based fertility treatment center, undergoing an IVF procedure in August of 2018. It failed. Months later, they were called in for a DNA test and, to their horror, told that a couple in New York who had their IVF procedure on the same day had given birth to the Manoukians' biological son.
I felt my heart beating outside of my body. I was hysterically crying and I was just lashing out.
Weeks passed before the Manoukians won custody of their baby boy.
Just imagine not knowing what that child is what that child is doing. It just drove me crazy.
Both families now suing CHA Fertility for medical malpractice and negligence. The unnamed New York couple claims they were expecting female Asian American twins after a successful IVF procedure. But when they delivered two male babies, neither of which was of Asian descent, they were shocked. DNA testing revealed that the boys were not related to the couple or to each other.
At every step of the way, CHA Fertility has failed Ani and Ashot and these two other couples. There needs to be accountability.
And David, we still haven't heard from the biological parents of the second child involved in this incident. We're told the New York couple wanted to keep both baby boys, but had to relinquish custody of both of them and still don't know what happened to their own embryos. CHA Fertility has not responded to a request for comment. David?
This is just awful all the way around. Adrienne, thank you. Next tonight, the crisis at the border. The Trump administration giving a look inside a holding center today for migrant children. Cameras were actually invited into the newest center in Carrizo Springs, Texas, where 225 teens are waiting to be placed with sponsors. It all comes after those images last week and descriptions of the squalor inside other facilities. Here's Matt Gutman.
I pledge. These are the images the government now wants you to see. Migrant children, hands on hearts, reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, though at some point they may be deported. The AP allowed into a youth holding facility in Texas where unaccompanied minors sleep on bunk beds, weave, eat catered food, and play soccer on grass fields.
The reason why we stood this up is, again, not to allow children to stay in Border Patrol stations any longer than they need to.
Those Border Patrol stations are migrants' first stop once apprehended, described as a ticking time bomb in an internal government report that showed dangerous overcrowding. Men cheek to jowl in chain link pens. Families stuffed dozens to a cell with a single bathroom. Faces pressed against the glass. And today, Yasmin Juarez testifying before Congress. She says her daughter, Marie, died from a viral infection after their detention.
Pero estoy aquí.
It is painful for me, she says, to relive this experience and remember that suffering. But I am here because the world should know what is happening to so many children in ICE detention. She's suing the government for wrongful death.
David, for over 6 months, we've been asking Homeland Security to allow our cameras into those Border Patrol stations where some of the worst overcrowding has taken place. Every request has been denied. David.
All right, Matt, you'll stay on it. Thank you. Overseas tonight, Scotland Yard now reporting an arrest at Buckingham Palace, saying a 22-year-old man climbed over the front gate at 2 in the morning. The Queen was home. He was taken into custody. He did not have a weapon. They do not believe it was terrorism related. Meantime, tonight, Britain's ambassador to the U.S. is out tonight after leaked documents revealed his harsh opinions of President Trump. Ambassador Kim Duroc called the Trump administration, quote, uniquely dysfunctional and, quote, diplomatically clumsy, among other things, prompting President Trump to cut all ties with him. American Airlines is apologizing tonight after a passenger, a mother, and a doctor claimed that a flight attendant insisted that she cover up as her 8-year-old son fought back tears. ABC's Victor Kendo is in Miami.
Tonight, this American Airlines passenger is outraged after flight attendants allegedly humiliated her because of what she was wearing. She believes it only happened because she's black.
I
walk down the aisle with my head down. I didn't want to see another passenger's face. It felt like this walk of shame.
Dr. Tisha Rowe, a Houston family physician, and her 8-year-old son were returning from vacation flying from Jamaica to Miami. They just boarded when Dr. Rowe says the pilot, who was white, authorized her removal.